Hello guys, my name is Wilson and in this video we are talking about rally heroes, okay? So rally heroes is one of the elements, we have several elements and rally it's one of them. I already did a guide for Thunderbolts, for Dauntless, this time I'm gonna talk about rally, okay? And with these heroes I have some experience with them. I have Phil2, I have Laurentel on my main account, then I have this one on my second account and then I have all the other ones. And I know these two, but I never play them with them in my account, I just test them on the test server. So before talking about all the rally heroes, I did an Excel file. On this one, I divided them in three types. So the consumers, the providers, and the hybrids, okay? So the consumers will be the ones that are more focused on consuming rally. The providers will be more focused on providing rally to the other allies, and then hybrid, they consume, they do damage, and they also provide rally to the other characters, alright? So you can do a combination of these characters using some consumers and also some providers or hybrid. It really depends which characters you have, okay? But ideally, you want to have always at least one hybrid or provider just to boost your other rally heroes damage, okay? So let's start with Phil2. Phil2 is a consumer. He's amazing, he's really good for Goblin Lair, is one of the fastest characters to clear Goblin Lair. You can do Goblin Lair with just 3 characters, and if you have Phil2 and Laurentel and then just use another tank, and you will be fine. You can clear it with one shot, you just need to have a decent gear. So Phil2 is a consumer, he does more damage with the ultimate, and he generates rally with the battle skill. So every time he has more than 3 targets, so Goblin Lair, he gains rally, okay? But if you are fighting Vortex or a single target boss, you don't get this rally, okay? So unless you are doing Goblin Lair, this battle skill will not be activated. So because of this, if you are doing a boss with him, you need someone to give rally to him. Okay, so I'm gonna talk about all the consumers and then I'll talk about providers and hybrids. So the next consumer will be Uberg, okay? Uberg is the same thing, increase the damage with rally. The battle skill, it can generate rally to him, so 40% chance. And then for the passive, if other allies cast a spell that consumes rally, he gains rally for 10 seconds. So this passive is pretty good. If you are using other rallies, then he will have a higher chance to get rally as well. So this one is pretty cool. Then we have Telendor. Telendor is crazy good, he does a lot of damage, increase the damage with rally on the ultimate, he can generate rally to him with the battle skill, and then increase the damage with rally, ignoring 20% of the enemy's defense. Then we go to the epic ones, which will be Martina. So Martina is an epic one, she's melee, is a decent epic rally to start on season 1, but eventually, because she's melee, it's really hard to use her because she will die pretty fast. But she's not that bad. She can increase this damage with rally on the ultimate, and then on battle skill she can generate rally if she's hitting more than 2 or more enemies. So again, same thing as Phil2. If you are doing damage to a boss, you will not get this rally unless you are using another rally character that can provide rally to this character. And then on the passive, she can recharge the ultimate energy every time she gains rally. Then we have Gitona, so it's this one, same thing, she will increase damage with rally. On the battle skill, she just damage, and passive, increase the damage with rally. Then we have the rare characters. So we have Moliere, which is this one, so increase the damage with rally on the ultimate, battle skill just does damage, and passive gets this 15% attack up. Then we have Arlo, will be the same thing, increase damage with rally on the ultimate, battle skill just for damage, passive just for damage. Then Brawl is this one, increase the damage with the ultimate damage with rally. He gets some buffs, ignores the damage, the enemy's defense with the battle skill, and gets this buff. And finally, we have Kylie's. And I always say this one, it's like the sister of Filto because it's the same rage area like Filto. She increased the damage with Raleigh on the ultimate. She gets this 20% attack up on the battle skill, and passive, she will do, it will just increase damage with the passive. And basically this is all the consumers. So the thing you guys can see from the consumers, checking by this table, is that on the ultimate, everyone increased damage with Raleigh. Some of them, especially the legendaries and epics, will generate Raleigh for them, for himself. And then on the passive, some of them will increase the damage with Raleigh as well. But they don't give Raleigh to anyone, just to themselves on the battle skill, and that's it. Now we are going to talk about the providers, okay? So these ones, their main goal is to provide Raleigh to other characters. So we start with the strongest one, it's Lorentel. Lorentel is crazy good, it's the best Raleigh provider of them all. Okay, so with the ultimate, this character will generate, will recharge the ultimate energy by 25% on the allies when the allies consume Raleigh, and also, if the hero is under Raleigh, will grant 40% attack up to all Raleigh allies. So this is pretty good, it's huge, okay? On the battle skill, when an ally casts a spell that consumes Raleigh, the skill recharge time resets. So again, crazy good. And finally, the passive, each time this hero would use the ultimate, when fully recharged, grants Raleigh to all allies for 10 seconds. So this one will be giving Raleigh with the ultimate to all the time to all heroes. So this one is pretty good. So another alternative you can use will be Tatlin. Tatlin is nothing, you can't compare with Lorentel, okay, but it's a good alternative, okay? So this guy will launch 3 attacks. If he has Raleigh, will consume Raleigh and grants 20% attack up and to all Raleigh allies, so that's pretty good. On the battle skill, will recharge the Raleigh ally with 10% ultimate energy, and passive, every 6th basic attack grants Raleigh ally with Raleigh, okay? Grants a Raleigh ally with Raleigh, okay? So this is pretty good. If you give him some attack speed, it will give Raleigh more often to other allies. And then, for the providers, I just have more Alvis, okay? So Alvis will just buff, he's not a big damage dealer, but basically it will give attack up, crit rate bonus, crit damage up with ultimate, that's it. On the battle skill, he will grant Raleigh to an ally, okay, 40% chance will be 60. And passive, the same thing, when carrying no Raleigh, they will duplicate Raleigh if any ally on the battlefield gains Raleigh, okay? So if anyone is getting Raleigh, he will duplicate that Raleigh. And also will provide some buffs. So these will be the providers. These ones, you want to use them with the consumers, but you have another option. So if you don't have these providers, you can use the hybrid ones, okay? The hybrid ones, they will increase damage with Raleigh on the ultimate, but also will have a chance to generate Raleigh to other Raleigh heroes. So we start with Alton. So Alton is our first hybrid. So this guy, as you guys can see, on the ultimate will increase his damage with Raleigh. The battle skill, same thing, will increase damage with Raleigh, but on the passive, this guy, when a Raleigh attempts to cast a skill that consumes Raleigh, those with Raleigh have 50% chance to gain 30% damage up, okay? This is a buff. But then, if you don't have Raleigh, they will have 50% chance to gain Raleigh, okay? So this is pretty good, they will have 50% chance to gain Raleigh if they don't have it. So this guy increases damage with Raleigh, but also gives Raleigh to other heroes if they don't have it. Then we have Eju. Eju is a great option as well. He does a lot of damage and can also give Raleigh to other allies, okay? So his ultimate increases damage with Raleigh. On the battle skill, he can generate Raleigh and increase the ultimate energy by 20%. So he will give Raleigh to himself with this one. And then the passive, there is a 50% chance, which can be increased to 75, of granting Raleigh for 10 seconds to a random ally after casting the ultimate skill, okay? So this one, pretty cool, he can give Raleigh to other allies. And then we have Wellbe. Wellbe is the same thing. His damage on the ultimate reduces the ultimate energy if this guy has Rally. Battle skill will grant Rally to a random ally, and passive will give, when gaining Rally, will give 15% attack up to him and another ally. And finally, the last one we have to talk about is Evania. Evania is a pretty good option as well. She will increase the damage with Rally. On the ultimate passive, she will get Rally to herself, or battle skill, and then the passive she will have. So if you scroll her, will be 100% chance to grant Rally to an ally, okay, for 10 seconds. So these will be the hybrid options, okay. So as you guys can see, all these options, their ultimate will increase with Rally, but then on the battle skill and passive, they can give Rally to other characters as well, okay. Ideally, you want to use one of these two, okay, or these three, but ideally, I think these two are really strong. Laurentel and Tatlin can give a lot of Rally to other characters. Alton, I've not tested him that much, so I can't say if he's better than Tatlin to provide Rally, but Edu is a good option as well. If you are using two Rallies, for example, if you are using two Rallies, I recommend to use a hybrid one and then a consumer, but if you are using three Rallies, it's much better if you are using a provider and two consumers, okay? The damage will be much better if you are using, imagine, a legendary and the epic, and then using a provider will help a lot to increase your damage because you are giving more Rally, okay? These guys here, they have more chance to give a Rally to another allies, okay? These ones, they have a chance as well, especially Evania 100%, but is not the same thing as providers, okay? Providers give buffs and Rally, the hybrids will do some damage and have a chance to provide Rally as well. Okay guys, so this was all I wanted to talk about Rally heroes with you guys. We have a lot of Rally characters and sometimes I know it's a bit confused to know which characters we should combine and use, so we're just gonna have a let's look at this Excel file so you guys can see what you guys can mix together, okay? Using three consumers together is not the best option because they only have a chance to generate Rally for themselves. Umberg is not that bad because every time other consumers get Rally, he gains Rally as well. So he's a really good one. If you want to use two consumers, Umberg will be the best option. But ideally, you want to use a consumer with a hybrid or a provider just to increase their damage, okay? Because when you're using someone like Filtu, when they need to hit two targets to activate the Rally, you know he's not getting Rally. So the only option, if you want to use Filtu, is to use Laurentel, Tatlin, or someone else that give Rally to these ones, because will not be possible for them to generate Rally against a single target boss. So this was everything I want to talk about these guys. So this was my third guide. The next one, I don't know which will be, but stay tuned guys. I did Dauntless Thunderbolt. If you guys didn't watch, have a look. Then now I'm talking about Rally, and I'll see which will be the next one I'm going to talk about. Alright guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always guys, don't forget to leave that like and subscribe to my channel to follow more content about Dragonheir. Thank you so much for watching and see you next time.